perfect is an ideal. It's something you can't have. I low-key stole that from my online religion class. I think we were talking about Plato, or not Plato, but like the Greek guy, Plato. And he had this kind of concept or knowledge or idea, and he said that perfection is an ideal, and it's something we can't attain. And I think that is a great thing to move forward with in life, especially now. Like, I woke up this morning, pimple, bro, right in the middle of my face, dude. And it's like, you know you're not perfect, right? You're not perfect. And that's okay. That's totally okay. Your life is not perfect, and that's totally okay. And I think if everything was perfect, if you were perfect, if I was perfect, then what's the point of life? There's no imperfections. There's nothing to really worry about. Everything would be, just be the same. Nothing would change. And I think having imperfections and being imperfect, failing, winning, these highs and lows, like, it comes from not being perfect. So I think not being perfect is a crucial part of our life. And especially when you move on to your artwork, your creative journey, or wherever, right? Perfectionism is gonna try and seep through, right? You probably might already be a perfectionist. I am, and I'm trying to get out of it, and I have been. And so perfectionism, you don't want to move on from one project, right? You want to keep tweaking it and just trying to make it the best thing possible. And sometimes you just can't. You have to let that idea flow out of you and move on to the next one, right? It's, art is a journal. Art is my journal. I create it because I'm expressing myself. I'm focusing on stories, ideas in my life, and I'm creating that. I'm expressing myself. Art is my journal. That's how I view it, so I don't look at it as some monstrous task to even get started. It's just a journal. You can write down a page every day and journal, right? Do the same with art. It's the exact same thing. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? When you journal, do you think you're trying to be perfect every time, trying to get every spelling exactly how it is? Like, if I was trying to spell ordinary right now, I would probably fail at that. But if I was writing a journal, I wouldn't care because I'm on my wavelength, right? I'm just writing. So think of art as a journal. Your creative practices as a journal. They're not meant to be perfect. They're meant to get your thought, your idea just out of you, expressing it onto a page or music or whatever, right? So own that. Own being imperfect. Yes, I'm imperfect. I have my flaws, but I also have, my pros. Everyone has their pros and cons, and you're profound. You are profound. You're successful already. Own that. Own being imperfect. I look at my girlfriend. I look at me. I look at a lot of people. They're perfectly imperfect. I look at my girlfriend. I'm not perfect. No person on this earth, nothing is perfect. But for me, she's imperfectly perfect. Everyone has their quirks and their ideas and their mannerisms, right? And I love that. That's what makes you, you want to be weird. Be weird. Be weird, bro. Be weird. I'm tired of trying to be so cool all the time. I'm never trying to be cool. I'm just trying to be me. I'm trying to figure out who I am. And I'll be weird, bro. I don't care. People might look at me and judge me. Or they might look at me and say, maybe you're trying to be too cool. And the whole time I've just been trying to find me and just trying to be myself. And I have been being myself, Focus on finding you. Focus on finding that group that keeps you. You don't want to fall into a group that makes you question your whole identity every single day. Like, why am I here? Nah, you should find some people who you actually fuck with. Like, yeah, I want to be friends with that guy. Or I actually really like this guy. Hopefully, maybe we can connect in some way and hang out. Bro, like, be imperfect, be weird, be you. Perfectionism is an ideal. It is never meant to be attainable. It is not attainable ever. It can't be. Art is your journal. You are your journal. You express yourself. You write down your own thoughts and ideas into this journal. Do the same thing with your art. It's not meant to be perfect. Just do it. I have this quote here from The Artist's Way. Usually we deny that in order to do something well, we must first be willing to do it badly. Instead, we opt for setting our limits at the point where we feel assured of success. Living within these bounds, we may feel stifled, smothered, despairing, bored. But yes, we do feel safe, and safety is a very expensive illusion. Like, you want to do something well, right? And that means perfect. That is your ideal perfect, being fully successful every single time. And that ideal is going to not let you even move forward, right? In order to have growth, you need to change and take risks. Trust yourself, have faith in yourself and the universe, right? And if you're not even willing to try, if you're not even willing to open yourself up to be imperfect, even though you already are, but if you're not trying to be imperfect, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to make this creative artist maybe way, right? Your artist passion is successful even more, right? You are successful because you're starting and you're expressing yourself. But if you want to take it to another level, you got to be willing to take risks. Your safety, and what I mean by that is your comfortability, is going to keep you in the same spot. You got to be uncomfortable. Be willing to be uncomfortable. Be willing to express yourself. Be imperfect. Be willing to be imperfect. I have another quote too. So this sets up as a question and an answer. So the question is, what would I do if I didn't have to do it perfectly? The answer is a great deal more than I am. Perfectionism keeps your number, your quantity of work down. You want to be imperfect. You're willing to be imperfect. Trust in the universe that it will create quality in your work, right? It will be imperfect, but it will be great. And when you strive to be imperfect, strive to just have it as a journal, right? Art is your journal. Just express yourself, be imperfect, be weird, right? That creativity, you will be able to create more. You'll be able to do more of what you love because you're not trying to be perfect and successful every time. You're being weird. You're being you. You're just trying. So do it. Do it. Literally just try, bro. Just try. Just try to let yourself be imperfect. Because I know there's a lot of people, including me, who just felt like they have to be perfect every single time. They touch a canvas. Oh, that line is wrong. I got to scrap the whole thing. No, just try. You are imperfect. So own it. Own your imperfections. Be weird. Be you. Art is your journal. Continue to be imperfect. Continue to strive to be imperfect. Because you'll do a lot more in your life than the people who stay stuck in their safe, tiny bubble trying to be perfect every time. Because you can't be. Failure is great lessons. Failure helps you learn and grow. You have to change to grow. You can't grow and stay the same. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Kind of short video, but listen, bro. Listen. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.